Thank you.
All right, how does this look?
Looking awesome. Nice smile. Okay.
My name's Jeffrey Hunter. I'm 42 years old. I'm from USA, and I am in a great relationship.
Where in the USA?
I'm from Maine and Colorado.
What do you do for a living?
I run a business called Easy Corporate Videos and Photos, and we make corporate videos.
What is it like to be a self-employed video maker?
Is a big question. Uh, Anything running a business or being self-employed is like a life. So there's tons of things. There's financials, there's taxes, there's customer relationships. So what's it like? It's consuming. It takes your life if you want to be successful. Sometimes it's stressful, but the joy of not having a boss and being in charge of your time, like when you wake up, go to bed, when you want to work, stuff like that, is great. So the freedom, I think, is amazing and uh, worth it to me.
What's the biggest challenge you faced as a self-employed video maker?
For sure, it's been the financial part. I mean, the admin part. All this stuff you have to do, like making sure your taxes are paid on time, the right amount. Anything you have to log on to a website with a password or talk to the government, anything like that. That's not my strength. So having to figure that out has taken a lot of discipline. It's been a lot of mistakes. Um, was that the question? Was the most difficult thing?
Yeah, the
That's
biggest challenge. Yeah.
that's the biggest challenge is the administrative stuff, and I guess learning how to roll with the punches. Sometimes it's a slow month or two. Sometimes it's busy. You learn all that.
How long have you been self-employed as a video maker?
I think I've been self-employed as a video maker, a business owner for at least 10 years. It may be 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly when I started. And the first 5 or 6 years, it was just me, single person. And the last 5 or 6 years, I've partnered with other videographers and photographers.
Why did you become self-employed? What inspired you to become a self-employed person?
It was actually a mistake. So I live in Denmark. As a foreigner, I need a work permit to stay here. And I went through this cycle of being employed, getting a job a few times. And each time I got a job right before they're going to kick me out. And then right before they're going to kick me out. And one time I was in the room where they're going to kick you out. And I was stressed and I submitted an application to become self employed because they let you be in the country while they make the decision. I thought the decision would be no, but it came back as yes. So it was a surprise. I felt blessed and lucky. And I've just been rolling since then.
Is there anything special about being a self-employed videographer, video maker?
Yes, a lot. Similar to the first answer, I'd say it kind of consumes your life because it is your life. If you're not making money, you can't have a life. You can't pay rent and stuff like that. Something special that I have learned in this field, videos and photos, it's a creative field, kind of an artistic field. And my theory is that you have corporate world or professional world, and you have artistic world and creative world. Over here, there's a lot of other creatives. It's very competitive, and there's not much money. And that's where most of the photographers and videographers and creatives are. But over here, there's a lot more money, and there are fewer creatives. Because creatives, I used to be over here. We don't even know this world exists, right? So I kind of got lucky. I got hired into one of these companies, and I had to learn everything. I had to learn how to dress, don't be late, keep your batteries charged, stuff like that. We're over here in creative world, it doesn't matter. You can be kind of messy, your batteries can be dead. whatever. So if you're a creative, a very important thing I've learned is that you don't have to make your life over here, and it's probably more stressful. And I think that's why they have starving artists is very common, because you work at a bar or a restaurant, um, because you're trying to get money from weddings or baby photography or something where people just want to pay you $200. But over here, they'll pay you $10,000 for the same job. So if you're creative, to know that this world exists, and I'm talking about getting business customers, like, I don't know, wherever, depending where you live, what's a big company? Ford, Apple, Novo Nordisk, something like that. Bigger customers, they can pay more. So I think that's important in a creative world. And then also stay on top of your taxes and your financials and all that stuff. Learn that system, get good advice.
What would you do to make ends meet if your business doesn't succeed as planned?
This has happened a few times. Uh, in the beginning, I slept on a friend's couch for like 6 months. I didn't know where the next money was coming from. And then some years later, because I was not on top of the financial tax stuff, I thought I had a lot of money. I didn't realize all the taxes I had to pay. So I spent all that money and I had to borrow money. I borrowed some money from friends, I borrowed some money from family. That felt horrible. I never wanted to do that again. Um, so after learning those kind of tough lessons, you really push to make money when you can. And sometimes there's slow months. You may not make a lot of money for 2 or 3 months at a time, but then you might make a lot, 2 or 3 in a row. So saving. Um, so I guess the answer would be, thankfully, I've not had to go back to getting a real job yet, like with a boss and all that. I don't think I would.
The last question is obviously your best advice you give to someone who wants to become a self-employed videographer.
Mhm.
Yeah, does it tie back to some of the answers you gave earlier?
Yeah, it definitely ties back to it. Keep in mind that there's these two roles. I would say the skills that make you successful over here will make you successful over here. But you can be successful over here and it won't come over here. I'm talking about things like as simple as make sure you have all your batteries charged, backup memory cards, redundancy. You can't make mistakes. Also, you have to be skilled but have a small ego. Too many of these creative world people, it's like their work is their sense of self-worth. And they take it, if I take a photo for you and you say, can you change the colors? A lot of these people be like, no, because it's my art. Get rid of that attitude. This is not going to make you successful over here. And if you have a healthy ego and a customer says change the colors, you say, sure, great. That skill will make you successful over here because people want to work with easy people. They want to they want a good picture, but they don't want your attitude. They don't want your ego. They want you to come in and make their life easier and not more complex. So be easy, be skilled, yes, do a good job, but be easy to work with. One of my favorite photographers that I hire, he's part of my team. This guy, I don't have to tell him anything. He shows up, he's quiet like a mouse. He takes incredible pictures. He delivers them 20 minutes later and he's gone. And it's just it's perfect, you know? So be easy to work with and some of the other stuff I said.